We got one more thing. One more thing for the wagon. We're not quite done yet. Are you ready? Your boy got some nitrous kit. Nothing crazy. Dry shot. Up to like 150. I haven't had nitrous in a very long time, and I am very excited to throw this kit on. So let's open this thing up, see what we got. All right, got ourselves a little kitty McKitter in here. Pretty basic stuff. Single nozzle. Hopefully this line is long enough to go to the back of the wagon. We got our jets. Nice solenoid here. All right. Ooh, got the billet handle on the bottle. 10-pound bottle. Nothing too buck wild. I wonder if they send these full. Honestly, I don't know. We can crack it open, I guess. I don't think they would send that full. I think it would probably be a hazard. Woo! All right. Well, ooh. That's right. All right. So we got the kit all opened up, and I'm going to go over everything that we are about to do. So we got our line. Actually got a arming switch, which I believe this is the wiring for this. We got our line from the solenoid to the nozzle. There's our nozzle. And we got our jets. So it came with a wide open switch, a bracket for the wide open switch, and then a regular relay. But we are not going to run that deal. What we are going to run is the NOS solid state relay deal. And that allows us to basically plug right into the Holley, and we can control all of this, everything through the Holley, which I'm actually pretty excited about. Should be pretty fun to do. So, man, we're going to get started. We need to figure out where we're going to put our solenoid. I was thinking to try to hide it and make it kind of incognito, but I think it's just going to go probably on the fuel rail or something. Yeah. Being lame. I do not have a cold air intake tube built yet, or air intake, I guess. Doesn't have to be cold. But so I think right now what I'm going to do is get real lazy. I'm going to drill a hole into this bolt-on throttle body adapter deal, because I don't think I'll ever need this. So, and if I do, I can just put a plug in it. But I'm going to drill a hole, tap it for 1/8-inch pipe, and then my nozzle should come underneath with a little stud sticking up, and it'll just spray directly into the throttle body. So I'm going to mount this thing all up, just running some lines and wires, and should be pretty easy.
To me that what's on screen there doesn't match with what you're looking at on your live time.
We'll have to double check that. I think we may have we'll try to get that fixed up there, but it looks like 6 quick. We're going to have Zach Walker, Kevin Smith.
And just like that, drilled and tapped the throttle body spacer deal, whatever you want to call that. And I've got the nozzle in there. It's pointing straight back into the throttle body. Let's see if you can see it. There you are. And we've decided to go with the 41 jet, which is a 75 shot for now. I'm not going to get too buck wild on this thing, at least yet. But I just wanted a little something extra. So I'm going to go ahead and just put all this stuff together right now, and it'll be a little easier to do it here on the bench than trying to do it on the car. So I'm going to get this thing on here and put it together. So it's the next morning after we put some nitrous on, and there's a local Cars and Coffee. She's looking pretty proper. Some diesel bros. We felt it to be pretty fitting to park next to the police unit there. Look how good she's looking. So the nitrous kit's almost done. I need one more fitting. We put the nozzle in, and I had it underneath, and I had the line all hidden and everything, but then when I opened the throttle body, it hit the nozzle, so I had to move it. But anyway, it's almost done. Need a 190-degree fitting for the top of here. She's ready to rip. Spray this thing. All right, so I put the throttle body spacer deal back on. With the nozzle was supposed to come from the bottom and up, and it was at first. But then when I opened my throttle blade, it hit it. So I couldn't put it there. So all I did was take the 4 bolts, flip it upside down, bolt it back in. Now it comes from the top. I had to go and get a 90 for this because it stuck straight up into the sky, and we can't have that hitting the hood up there. So we got a 90 on that deal, which is probably going to be fine. And I mean, this does look pretty clean-ish for now, but it was supposed to be all hidden, and this kind of messed things up a little bit. No big deal. We do have the solenoid mounted, and right now it is completely lazy with the wires just going up and over the intake. I'm going to hide all that like I do everything else. The line dips down behind it, and then the feed line, it is somewhat tucked up there, like it's not real ugly. So the feed line is ran. These wires are very loosely ran until I get a little more time to clean it up. But it's mounted up, and oh yeah, the solid state relay, it's mounted up. Perfect little spot, this little factory tab on the inner fender. And I, of course, am gonna wire loom all this stuff so it's not orange and blue, because we can't have that. But let's go check out the bottle. I think that's the coolest part. So, oh yeah, I got some Mickey Thompsons on it at the moment. All right, I got the bottle mounted up in there. You see it? Looks pretty sweet, huh? No. Oh, how do you open this deal? You would think it would be in here, right? Nope, not in there. You think it would be in there, right? Nope, not in there. Now, although it does fit in there, I want to keep a spare tire because we just put 24s on this thing, and if I'm out of town or anywhere or anything, I need a spare tire, at least to throw on the front. That is a cubby space, which I plan to keep, you know, to put stuff in there. Long road trips, or the kids can put stuff in there. But the nitrous bottle is, you know, right there, hidden in plain sight. You pop this little lever. I'm going to pop it, and then... Woo! That's nice. It fits perfectly in this little nook in between the seats. And I can actually access it through here with this handle on this one, or I could push a button on the front seat. So this little button right here, push that guy, and then I get to it from the front. So I can get to it either way. Pretty sweet, pretty easy to get to, and I'm pretty excited about it because I didn't have to give anything up to. I didn't have to cut anything. I didn't have to do nothing. So that guy goes up. Nobody knows. I think you could see it from the top, maybe. Oh yeah, just barely. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I think on road trips, I don't think I'll be spraying this thing. I'm not going to be spraying the house down on road trips, so I probably will take it out, take the brackets out, in case I want to lay all the seats down to sleep in here overnight. This thing is a 8-foot flat bed, so I don't want to have to rustle around with a nitrous bottle back there. Anywho. Okay, so last night I went through the Holley stuff and I watched a few videos on how to set the stuff up, and I understand all of it for the most part, except I am having somewhat of an issue here. So first things first, I'm just in the car and testing to see if the solenoid is working, and here's what where we're at so far. So in the basic settings, like in the pre-settings, this comes as 85% TPS, throttle position. And that's probably about where you want the nitrous to come on at. Except I'm having an issue with it not working past 64%. So on this minimum RPM deal, I'm just doing this testing here in the garage. That way the vehicle doesn't have to be running. All I have to do is push the gas pedal down past 64%. And it will trigger the relay, which will trigger the solenoid. Except here's my issue. Let's see if I can get this to work. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in the video or not. Oh yeah, my arming switch. I gotta arm it. We mounted that. Can you see it? Probably not. It's tucked up way under there. You can barely really see it at all. So, okay, so now that it's armed, sorry, trying to zoom in here. You can hear it. And if you watch my throttle percent down here, clicks on, clicks off, right? Now watch when I go to 65%. All right, 65%. Now watch my throttle. No clicking, all the way up to 100%. But when I release the throttle pedal, it clicks when it goes past 65% on the way back down. I don't know why that is, and it's pretty weird. I'm sure there's a parameter in here that's allowing me or not allowing me to put this where it should be, but I don't know what it is yet. So what it's doing is on the way up, it does not click, but on the way back down, it clicks the solenoid. So I don't really know, but it's kind of scary, honestly, because you don't want it to open up. You probably don't want it to open up at 65% throttle or 64%. It's probably where peak torque is, and it'll probably blow this thing up, detonate, whatever. I don't know. Science and stuff. But it kind of makes me wish that I would run just the regular wide open switch to activate the nitrous. But if you do use the Holley, you don't need any controller or anything else. It's supposed to do it all for you. So you can go, right now I've got it set up for dry, non-progressive, but I can run dry progressive and it will put a progressive ramp in here as I need. So, and maybe that's something I need to try to experiment with. Maybe I'll try the progressive thing and it will, maybe it'll fix some of the TPS stuff. I know it's something like that, but I haven't figured it out yet. So if you know, let me know. Put it in the comments, because I don't know what I'm doing here, but hopefully I can figure it out. So that's about where we are right now with the nitrous stuff. So bottle's full. Pretty much the 75 shot jet is in it right now. I just got to go through, tighten up the lines, and this thing's ready to rip. All right, guys, I think I've got her figured out now. So basically what I went and did was activated the nitrous and then went out and took some data logs. So basically what I'm looking for is to see if the solenoid stays on the entire time that I'm ripping, and it was. So I just put all the settings back to how they were like supposed to be. And so what I was looking for was ignition timing. I had it locked out 15 degrees and it did it. It throughout the whole run, it was locked out 15 degrees. And then down here on the nitrous, it stayed on 100% throughout the whole run. Over at this point, it was 50% throttle. So now I can put all the timing back in it because I know that works. Oh, and I also did the fuel. So the fuel, it adds a little bit of fuel. And it was adding some fuel because the duty cycle went up on the duty cycle. Now I'm at 84% duty cycle, so these injectors hopefully are enough for a 75 shot, but we'll see. So I am pretty much ready. I'm pretty much ready to turn the bottle on and go make some hits. I'm pretty nervous about it. I shouldn't be. 75 shots. Pretty small. I just wanted to make sure that all my ducks are in a row. I don't want to go and freaking blow the intake off this thing or blow it up because of a weird timing percentage parameter that I wasn't aware of. So I think we're all good to go. I'm probably just going to turn the bottle on, take some data logs, and see what happens. Hopefully this thing rips. I bet it will. So let's go try. Bottle's on. Arming switch is on. I'll try drop it down in first gear, see what happens. random shift too, but all right, try it again. Check the log. Squeaky brakes. We're gonna check the log here and see what it looks like, and we'll try it again. Alright guys, pulled over on the side of the road just checking this data log. So if you look right here, this blue line shoots pretty much straight up. That's when the nitrous kicks on and engages. And if I just click, you know, a random spot over here, the ignition timing is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So base timing is 26, but I commanded it to only do 20 degrees of timing. I wanted this thing to be kind of safe, and I think we did it. Now, so down here you see the nitrous is 100% on, but if I scroll over, it turns itself off right around the 1-2 shift. So after looking at that, I figured out that keeps going out of focus, sorry. I figured that out is because it hit 6,500 RPM, which right here is our max RPM. So we need to probably bump that up to, we'll just probably bump it up to 7,000, and then that nitrous will stay on the whole time. But it worked and it ripped. Nitrous did come back on somewhere in second gear, so it kind of did a bunch of stuff right there. Nitrous came off, the timing went back up 6 degrees, and then nitrous kicked back on, pulled the timing back down. So the power kind of just jumping all over the place. So man, just a little bit of fudging on these numbers and this thing's gonna be a ripper. So we'll probably bump this thing up to 100, 125 shot later on, or put a little bit of timing in it. I think we're relatively safe on timing. This thing does have a little bit of 110 race gas in it that I got at the gas station. So all right, well, I'm gonna keep tinkering with it. Probably gonna hit 1 or 2 more rips on the way home. All right, so I made my changes. I'm gonna hit 1 or 2 more licks on the way home. It almost did a wheelie on the street. It did cut out, which I'm pretty sure I'm out of gas. So I'll stop doing what I'm doing. But it hit hard. All right. I'm pretty sure I hit fuel cuts. All right. Station wagons are not supposed to be this fast. I can't wait to get back out and mess with some people. All right. I'll put some gas in this thing and we'll try it again a little bit later on. All right, guys, so it's been a couple of days since we made those first few nitrous rips with the wagon, and what we learned was that 75 shot pulling 6 degrees of timing was really like no difference than having the regular timing put in it and no nitrous. There's not a huge difference there. I took so much power out of it with the timing that there wasn't like a big difference. Now it did rip, and it ripped harder, but it wasn't very much. So we're gonna bump it up a little bit. We're gonna move up to 100 shot. I might even put the 125 shot in there. So I haven't decided that, but we also need to make sure that we put some new plugs in this thing. So in the car right now is a TR5, and I didn't gap them at all. I didn't plan on running nitrous this early, but I am. Here we are. So we're gonna gap these plugs probably around 25, 26 thousandths. Throw these things in, nitrous jet in, and Devin was riding around with me and looked at the tune. He thinks the tune is way more than safe. So we're gonna throw those in and then go make a few more rips. Now last weekend we went out cruising and I made some NA rips before we got finished, or before I put the nitrous on, sorry. So I raced John, my buddy John, in his Whippled F-150. Now, we're kind of comparing apples to oranges here. It held its own, you know, for what it was, but we definitely need to get a little closer. So I'll throw that video in here real quick. All right, 1, 2, 3. So he pulled me like hard, of course. They're apples to oranges, but with this 100 shot and a little bit of race gas and a different tire, we're gonna roll around with these Pro Bracket radials with a 26-inch tall, which is gonna help my gearing issue a little bit. We're gonna try to get a little closer to John. So maybe we can meet up this weekend and I'll post an aftermath video of maybe how much closer I am to him. That's the only thing I have to judge off of, like how fast it's getting. So all right, we're gonna throw this stuff in here, and then I'll turn the camera back on once we're ready and making some more rips. All right, so we got some new spark plugs in. We got the 100 shot jet in there, and the bottle's turned on. We got half tank of gas. I don't know if that's enough to keep it from cutting out. Nothing like a couple of nitrous rips before you go pick up the kids from school. So we're gonna arm it. Cut out immediately and shut the laptop. Let's try a second gear. We're gonna try a second gear rip. Cutting out. Nitrous is definitely working. Like it's doing more stuff than what it was. I think we're hitting a parameter.
I think it was hitting your lean cut off.
Lean cut?
Yeah, I was looking.
Let's try it again.
Where it's 14.6, it did hit like 13 something.
Oh, it's losing fuel pressure.
Oh.
It's dropping fuel pressure like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well that sucks. Probably way out of injector. Bummer. All right, well, until we figure out how to do that, I'll just have to put bigger injectors in it, I guess. All right, well, that didn't work. Stand by. All right, so the good thing about having really cheap rubber hoses, you could just clamp it off with some vice grips. But let's check out this pre-filter. So when I drilled the hole in the plastic gas tank for the diesel sump, it had plastic shavings everywhere. And I knew this was going to be a problem. I've already cleaned this filter like 3 times, but I just drove this car an hour away today and then just got back home a little bit ago. Oh, shoot. Alrighty. So I'm assuming that there's probably still some stuff in the tank. Look at that. That's a pretty good sign. I mean, kind of. So we'll take this thing apart, get it cleaned out, and I bet that was our issue. Oh yeah. See all that stuff? Yep, that'll do it. All right. Well, I thought I got most of this stuff last time, so apparently not. Alrighty. Well, I'll clean this all up, put it back together. Alright guys, so we cleaned that fuel filter out. We're gonna just make some NA rips real quick, make sure everything is kosher and our fuel pressure doesn't drop. We were dropping fuel pressure pretty hard, so that was all the issue. But we're gonna rip on this thing, make sure it's safe, and then we'll try the bottle again if everything checks out. Pretty good. It's still cut out at the very top, just a little pulling some fuel back out. Let's clear this table out. Oh, there's a cop right there.
Behind you or in front of you? It hit 32.
Okay, so we're still dropping pressure.
But it pulled more. Well,
I added some again. Alright, we're running out of fuel pump. Very much we can do about that. Fuel system, fuel delivery problem of some sort, which is a huge bummer because I was really hoping to let this thing rip and do some racing in it tonight. Alright guys, so we cleaned out the fuel filter again and it was completely full of trash, but I've actually been wanting to up the size of the feed from the tank to the pump because the pump has been really loud. Well, we upsize that from a -6 to a -10. Huge difference. Fuel pump, can't even hear it anymore. So that's kind of been the issue the whole time. We just made some rips and pressure stayed right at about 52 the whole time, which is awesome. So we're gonna try the nitrous. We've got the nitrous armed. We're gonna do a data log. You ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We've been in a nitrous car, so.
Alright. Well, we're cutting out a little bit. Probably, I don't know if that was air fuel or...
It didn't look like a pressure drop, so.
Pressure didn't drop that time. It's probably hitting some sort of cuts. Alright. We'll look at the log and see what it says. Okay, so here's what's going on with the nitrous on the wagon. It's basically real inconsistent at the moment. Most of my issues were just the fuel delivery problem with clogged filters, line too small, and that stuff. So I do believe that that stuff is sorted out now, and then I'm kind of fine-tuning the parameters in the Holly. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I mean, once I get it figured out, I think it's going to be awesome. I just need a little more time with it. So basically killed a bottle of nitrous, did get like 4 or 5 pretty solid rips out of it before I killed the bottle. And that's fine. I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to get some more video of it in action and working as soon as I can. Right now I've got to focus on some other stuff going on that I want to do for next weekend. But funny enough, I opened the hood up to show you guys I'm going to build a cold air intake, and I started looking at the nitrous nozzle. Check this out. So I'm checking out the nozzle, and it's pretty clean up here. Been rubbing on the hood right there. Oh, sorry, right there. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, I'm going to move this anyway. This whole deal's coming off. It was temporary. But look at the dang nozzle jet. It somehow, like, it stripped the threads out on that and it turned itself. So the nitrous just been shooting out. Now, yes, I mean, I'm sure, I don't know, 70% is going to make its way back into the throttle body. This thing is sucking in a lot, but obviously that's not ideal. So I did race the Whipple F-150 again. We were freaking door to door, and all said and done, he inched out on me like this much. I didn't get a video of it. Complete slacker. I'm sorry, but to have this thing door to door with a Whipple F-150 was pretty amazing. He was stoked. I was stoked. It was a fun race. I'm gonna get some more racing videos soon. It's just really hard to do. I'm shifting on the tree, steering, and it's kind of hard to do. So, but I'm gonna work on that. So, also I wanted to talk to you about the wheels and tires. I am gonna put the gold wheels and tires back on, but I kind of have something else in the works that I'm gonna be working on this week. So there's that. Now they are gonna go back on the wagon, but I got a different project that I'm working on that I kind of need them for something else right now. Alright guys, that's going to end it for today's video. Thank you for watching. We are creeping up on 10,000 subs, so thank you guys so much for that. Like, share, subscribe. The weather is going to be breaking here soon and warming up. Track's going to be opening. We're going to be doing a lot of racing this year. So tune in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.